Solve and graph your solution. Write your answer in interval notation. So we're going to take this quadratic inequality, 4x plus 1 times x plus 1, and change it to an equation. Because we do not know what these numbers are, we don't know if they're going to be less than or greater than 0. So if we change it to an equal sign, we can set each factor equal to 0. And then solve these two simple equations. Solving for x, we have 4x is equal to negative 1. And then multiplying both sides by 1/4, we get x is equal to negative 1/4. In the other equation, adding negative 1 to both sides of the equation, we get x equals negative 1. So we're looking at, on our number line, negative 2, negative 1, 0, positive 1. We have found the numbers negative 1 and negative 1/4 over here slightly. Now neither one of, or actually both of these circles will be solid because it was or equal to in the original problem. So we have solid circles here. And we need to do some testing. The numbers that I want you to test are around the numbers that you found. So I can test on this side of negative 1, the number negative 2. In between negative 1 and negative 1/4 is something like negative 0.5. And on the other side of negative 1/4 is 0. These numbers get tested in the original inequality. So let's first test negative 2 in that original inequality. And you get 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 plus 1 is negative 9. And negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Multiplying negative 9 to negative 1, that is not less than or equal to 0. So we'll test the next number, negative 0.5. So negative 0.5 goes in where the x used to be. Make sure you don't lose negative signs. 4 times negative 0.5 is negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Negative 0.5 plus 1 is a positive 0.5. Multiplying these two together, that is in fact less than 0. That's a yes. When you say yes, that's when you shade. That 0.5 was here. Negative 0.5 was in between these two, so that's where I'm shading. And we don't want to assume ever that because we've shaded something we're done. There are many problems where there are 2 or 3 different parts of answers, so you always want to test all the numbers around the numbers that you found in the original inequality. So now I'm going to test 0, where the x was in the original. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. That's being multiplied to 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1, which is not less than 0. So that's another no. That's another no shading. But I also asked you to write your answer in interval notation. So this started at negative 1, and it was included, so it's a bracket, comma, and it went up to negative 1/4. That was also included, so that's also a bracket.